Hi guys, this is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. So it is 7:28 p.m. on May 30th, 2015. So I'm coming to you guys with the second part of living with herpes. I'm gonna look at the title of my other video so I can tell you guys exactly what I believe it's coming out the closet. I'm gonna see right now. Yes, living with herpes. So this is living with herpes part 2. And this is going to be a 6-part video. If I change it to this is a 6-part video. If I make it any longer than that, I will let you guys know, but this is going to be a 6-part video. Whatever information or any other stuff that I leave out, you guys can always Google more information and stuff like that. I hope I'm not saying this in like, I hope nobody takes this in an offensive manner. It was requested, a lot of people was requesting because as you guys know, first and foremost, I'm a Christian. So this is my testimony, and um, whatever questions I don't answer, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will get to them as soon as possible, guys. So it is 7:29 now, and we're gonna start. So this video will end at 7:59. So I was in a domestic violence relationship, and I basically went over that part with you guys in the beginning. And this gentleman was a lot older than me, and he tried to use witchcraft and stuff like that to tie me to him to make me want to stay with him. And I had just had my daughter the March of 2009, which is the year that I met this guy. I met him in April, and he began asking a girl that lives, her mom was a tenant of my foster parent, about me and who I was. And he began instructing her that she should stalk me and come around me so that he could get information on who I was. And he began asking her siblings as well, which they all are older than me, the people I'm talking about. And he began asking them, like information about me. And they would instruct him, if you want to know that information, you should go and ask her because we don't know who she is either. So pretty much he stalked me for a while, and then there was some awkward times where he literally stopped outside the lady's house waiting for me to come outside in his vehicle. So that happened a couple of times, and the lady that I was living with, my foster parent, as I told you guys, I'm going to try not to reveal anybody's names in this video as much as possible. So the lady I was living with, she began to ask me if I was dating somebody in the neighborhood because she felt like somebody was following her. And I told her, no, I've been feeling the same feeling. I feel like somebody's following me and stalking me as well. And I'm not dating anybody in this neighborhood. At the time, I was going through a custody battle with my daughter. And if I had even thought of dating another guy, I would have basically just been giving up all my rights to my kids. And I have one child with my daughter's father, and one child with my son's father. But had I dated anybody else, he would have sought all custody and would not have allowed me to even interact with my children, because that is the type of person that individual is. Um, I also I was so I end up finally not being able to run away from this guy. One day he asked me to go in his vehicle, and I really felt like I didn't have an option. I felt almost like if somebody had took me up and walked and sat me in this man's vehicle. And this was only stuff that I've only heard stories from people, older people in church, and our parents be, like uproar because they don't want the children to know that there's a possibility that stuff like this can happen. They want children to feel like you can protect them at every cost or anything, but it's not like that. There are certain extenuating situations where your parents cannot protect you as much as they would want to, because And then there's certain situations where it comes down to me or you. And if it's your parents or you know, you don't really expect them to be like me after they had you. I mean, they could have another you know what I mean? Kind of like, it kind of is, it's an oxymoron. But when it comes down to you or someone else, you know that that's a tough decision, you know? And then, this, after a while, after about 7 months in this domestic violence relationship, I found employment, and it made it even worse because I started working as a hostess at TGIF Fridays, and I was still fighting for custody of both my children, which neither one of them belonged to the guy that gave me herpes. Um, I told you guys I have documentation that says it, and I will show you guys in one of these vlogs before these vlogs is done. I just have to go and get it out. But I will show you guys that documentation as well. When I found out I had herpes, I was 19, and my whole world crushed. My whole world just crushed right down on me. I understood that there was diseases that could not be cured, and I understood that herpes was one of those diseases that could not be cured. And when I think about, I have a house phone in my closet. If you guys watch my room tours, you see I have a house phone in my bedroom. And I was laying down on my bed right here one day when the doctor called me to tell me I had herpes. I was feeling really bad, and I had a horrible headache. So I was just laying down. I couldn't even get outside. I couldn't get around my regular daily basis. I couldn't get to work. My head was hurting so badly. I felt like I was going to pass out. I felt like the world was on my shoulders and there was no way out. I had moved to my own apartment at 19. I received my apartment in December of 2011, and I've been here ever since. So this December makes 5 years since I had my apartment. But I just moved in my furniture, like my bed and my dresser sets. And I didn't actually move in here until January, but I had moved in. You know, I would come just for a peace of mind and just lay down on the floor before my furniture even came in. And just lay down on the floor and just so amazed that I had actually gotten my apartment. So many people told me it wasn't going to be anything, you know, and there was no way I was going to get my apartment, and I wasn't good enough to have my own apartment, you know. And I was just looking around, marveling because I couldn't believe that I was in this place, and this place belonged to me. As you guys know, I live by myself, me and my cat. So no matter how I feel, no matter what's going on with my day, I really don't tell people except for you guys. You guys are my, and of course, as you guys know, there's a lot that I don't tell you guys as well. So as much as I try to express myself, and you guys are my outlet, you guys are teaching me how to talk again. I've just been in domestic violence relationships back to back to back. And I know how to sit and look, and I know how to express myself, but it's just, I feel like I had lost the right to express myself for so long. So you guys have just done something so amazing in my life by being my mass media family. So I can sing it, hum it, you know, just what I'm feeling. And I had lost that at one time, you know. So I just been through so many ups and downs, and but through everything God has brought me through. When I told my mom I had herpes, she stopped talking to me. She was very upset. Family members told me that I should hide it. I shouldn't tell anybody that I have herpes. Family members denied me being their family member once they realized the guy that I was in a relationship with because they knew that he had a disease. So this has not been an easy road going through this, but God has brought me through it regardless of the ups or downs. Um, as I told you guys, when I found out my world crashed, it was April of 2012. I found out that I had herpes simplex A, and I'm fortunate that I don't have any lesions. I don't have cuts, bumps, bruises, or anything like that. So God was still working out for me because I believe that there's times when He gets lesions, but I actually don't have it. I had never seen Him with a cut or a bruise, but then again, He was very secretive and very smart enough to know, like, if he had a lesion or something, he would not have sex with me. He would hide it because he didn't want to risk me seeing it. He admitted to me that he had this going on all along, and he said to me, well, can we still have sex? Even though he gave me an incurable disease and there's no cure for it, he still petitioned me if we could still have sex. And I was like, my knees had gave out on me, and I was just falling to the floor. And then when I was on the floor, I was just falling backwards. I was just falling to the floor. I never know somebody could do something like this. Be aware that they have a medical condition and just give it to somebody because they're attracted to them. And all I can remember is running from this guy every chance I got. Um, there was like one train station that was close enough for me when I was going to school, and I tried leaving 2 hours earlier for school. And my teacher would ask me, why you come to school early? And I tell her, because another guy is stalking me. And this just became normal for my teacher to hear us young ladies coming in and telling her that men are stalking us. So it wasn't something that was awkward or, something that they felt they should be worried about because they feel like all young ladies get stalked by older men. So it's I just my whole world just felt like it crashed. And then I was going to a church in the area because I was living there, and I ended up having to stop going to that church because he began stalking me. And I had moved and had my apartment in Manhattan. And when I sought legal help for the issue, they told me I was wrong because he lived in that neighborhood. Even if I was attending church there, he lives in the neighborhood, so I shouldn't go around that neighborhood or anywhere around him. Even though this is a man that usually doesn't stay in the neighborhood, he usually drives out and, anywhere else but the neighborhood. But if he knows I'm coming, he stays and he stalks me. He broke his own car window and he got me arrested for it. And I went to jail. And I didn't actually go to jail, but I went to the process and he tried to kidnap me. He pushed me in his vehicle and he called me and I said, I don't want to come to you. And I went in the nail salon to do my nails, and when I went in the nail salon, he also went in the nail salon. So I walked out the nail salon trying to go back home because I felt scared, and he insisted that I should get in his vehicle. And I told him I don't want to get in your vehicle, and he insisted. Um, some guys got together and saw this happening, and told him that if I don't want to go with him, he should leave me alone. He shouldn't be forcing a woman to go with him if she doesn't want to go with him. And that made him so upset. And so he forced me in his car to show me that he is in charge and that he can do that. Um, After he forced me in his car, he drove me to his home. And he took a long way to go to his home, and he drove me to his home. And he kept looking back at me and laughing and telling me that I looked scared. And I told him, because I am scared of you. And he was laughing, and he was laughing, And he was telling me, you don't have anything to be scared of. Um, there's so much stuff that happened. I won't be able to cover all of this in half an hour. There was times in the relationship that he told me if I tried to leave him, he would kill me. He tried to kill me. He tried driving very hectically. He drove down cars coming towards us, driving to the cars coming towards us on purpose, trying to kill me if I told him I was going to leave him. And then I would have to tell him, no, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to stay with you until I could get out the car, and then tell him I don't want to be in this relationship. I don't want to be with you. Um, but it was just like, um, you know, it's really difficult because what do you do in certain scenarios? People can see that as domestic violence, but people still come up with these stories and these lies of what happened, and knowing that it's domestic violence, knowing that it's wrong. A lot of these women feel like it's okay for men to do these stuff to them, and some of them tell you that they asked for it, they did something to deserve it, or they can manage it, they can fight back or stuff like that. And so me myself, I don't usually network with a lot of women that's been through a domestic violence, for that simple fact that that's not my level where I'm at. I understand that I couldn't fight back. I understand that I was helpless. I understand all of that. I understand that there was nothing I could have done at the time by myself. It had to be God to get me out of that situation. I remember praying and asking God, why had He left me, Why had He forsaken me? Why had He left me to harm's way? Why hadn't He protected me? Um, I remember telling my grandma, that He was going to kill me. I called my grandma one day. She wanted to talk to me, and I was avoiding her because I felt like they didn't protect me, they didn't help me. So she was just like, I'm your grandma. You should talk to me. And I just felt like you didn't do anything to protect me, and you're perfectly healthy. You have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. That is natural illnesses. I don't have a natural illness. I have an illness that, like, I just feel like somebody. So that's just my personal feeling. Who was there to protect me? 17, and he was already over 18. Honestly, the amount of times he raped me, and then women started telling me that instead of telling me to get out of there, they started telling me that now I'm mature. Now I'm getting older. This is life lessons. I'm going to go through this when I'm married. So it's good that I get the experience now. That's why I can't talk about that, because I'm not on that level. I understand that I was helpless, and I understand that God has to break me out of some things. And I understand that. I had some African American women get really upset with me because of how I do my makeup. They feel like I shouldn't use a lighter foundation. And you guys see I do a lot of makeup editorials for you guys on YouTube as well. Haven't done one in a while. But a lot of women got upset with me because they feel like I shouldn't Kim K highlight. I shouldn't make the foundation match my complexion. Wherever the foundation is, I should smack it on my face. And I'm petitioning them to pray to God to deliver them from whatever it is that they're going through, because everything out the package is not good enough for you. If it's not good enough for me, it's not good enough for you. God needs to give you what's good enough for you. You know what I mean? After this guy was done with me that gave me herpes, I would buy anything. I mean, it could have a hole. I would take it home and sew it, because just that was good enough. And I was scared if I was going to attract another guy, or he was going to be looking my way. So I just had fell so low. And right now, guys, I'm still emotionally hurting, but I'm crawling my way out. I'm still scared when I'm around guys, but I'm working. I'm working on it. This is now. And then what made it worse was I became in other relationships just bad. Um, not interested in these guys, but they see me and they tell me they're interested in me, especially. So it doesn't. Where I'm at is I don't even want to get married. If you guys can understand what I'm saying, I don't even want to get married. I don't want another guy in my bed. I don't want another guy around me. That's where I'm at. Um, I don't want women around me. A lot of women saw my situation and they still fabricated stories, and they say that I deserved it. I did something to get this treatment. I did something. I don't know how you can think that you did something to get a disease that is incurable, but there's something that somebody did, like I see people right now, people that I network with is HIV positive, because it is a lifelong disease that is incurable, and they feel the same way I feel. So I don't have to hide my feelings. I don't feel like I don't fit in when I'm there. I feel at home. I feel almost as if I have HIV or AIDS because it's something incurable. It's something that if I do one day decide to have a partner, which I have no intentions of being with anybody at all, you have to then tell the person that you have this disease, and it's like, why should you have to tell somebody you have a disease? Why should you have to have a disease to tell somebody that you have a disease? That is the thought behind it. It's not, it doesn't really go down easy because me myself is still trying to understand this disease. Because I'm a Christian, I believe that God can heal me. I'm not going to walk around and say that I'm healed, but I believe that God can heal me. I believe that He has a cure for this disease. I don't believe that this is it for me. I don't believe that it's incurable by man. I believe that it's curable by God. So I pray and I fast and I just hope that God will have His way with me. Um, I just I don't understand. It's just, why did I have to have this hand in life? Why can I have a better hand? Why can I have a better ordeal? Having it has affected me a lot. As I told you guys, I'm already anemic, so there's a lot of times where I feel overwhelmed already. And then when something happens, it's like knock out, like it's way too much for me. And I feel like just curling up in bed and going to sleep. Um, Having herpes, it has depression spells where sometimes I just get down when somebody's bothering me or harassing me too much. I just get down, and I have to really pull myself out of it. It also gives you like mood swings. So there's times when you're up, there's times when you're down. It's almost like borderline bipolar. That's basically one of the conditions of herpes itself. It gives you mood conditions. And the doctor explained this to me, and I also had to. I refused to see the therapist because I didn't want anybody else to know. I was embarrassed. And when you're diagnosed with something that is incurable, what happens is the doctor comes and sits you down. I was like, "Can I stand for this?" She was like, "Everything is good, but there's one test that came up abnormal, but I'm gonna check you again." And she actually, and I told her, at the time I was hurting so much, I told her no, I didn't want to test again. I believe it. She said, "Are you sure?" And I said yes. I had been to 10 doctors in the space of 2 months. I knew he had given me a disease. None of them was able to find this disease. All of them told me they were checking for every other disease, but they wasn't checking for herpes. So I went to all 10 of these doctors and they told me I was fine, but I knew that this guy was sleeping with other people. I don't believe that he contracted it when he was with me. I believe he contracted it before he was with me. He also admitted to having this disease before he met me. He admitted to me that he gave it to 5 other women. I am I am the sixth. He admitted to sleeping with multiple women a week without using condoms or protection to me. And he started some fake tears and crying, asking me to forgive him. Um, and at first he denied it. When he realized I was leaving him, he decided to tell the truth. He didn't think it was possible that I could leave him. He thought whatever witchcraft he was using on me, that was gonna hold me. I remember when he brought me to his house, he had candles of all different type of colors, oils using, trying to wipe them on me. And I kept telling him, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I don't believe in this stuff. Please don't put this on me. Um, Begging him if it was time that I could go after he finished having sex with me. Um, there was times that he forced me to spend the night with him. There's another young lady that talks about stuff like this and experienced stuff like this, and she does it on YouTube openly, and I just like her so much. I'm actually subscribed to her. I'm gonna look for her. She's been definitely inspiration for me. Also, also, there's somebody else that has been so candid, mommy. She has been so inspirational to me. Talking about her boyfriend, her husband being on drugs, has been so inspirational for me. This guy smoked and drunk. He smoked marijuana and he drunk chronically. Um, I kind of thought that he was doing more than marijuana, in my opinion, because of his erotic temper and the way he would like switch up. I believe that he was doing a stronger drug, or maybe he has done a stronger drug in the past. Um, Whether he wants to deny it or not, I do believe that because his actions, like he would be here and just snap and start acting, trying to hit you, behaving erotic. Not like he starts talking about something else, but he tries to actually hit you. So I believe that he's also doing some other drugs. I don't know if he's doing like there's some type of dust they say they use. I actually don't know what the drug he's using as well, but I know that it doesn't really, he can't control it when he uses it. He behaves very erotic. So her, I watch her blonde sundoll for MJ. Blonde sundoll for MJ. Her, she has been very, very, very inspirational to me. Can you guys see this? She talks about boyfriends committing suicide, all stuff that I have, been around, had friends tell me about, and she's just been so inspirational to me. I watched their videos and it made me come candid mommy. Candid mommy. These people have been so inspirational to me. Um, in the course of him sleeping with so many people and sleeping with me without protection, I ended up having cervical cancer, which originally came from having, oh gosh, I forgot that immunization that you get immunized for, and they're now doing it in guys too. I forgot what it's called. It's for protection of a. I'm gonna Google it. When I did the immunization, so I'm Googling it now, guys, so I can tell you guys. So I Googled it and I had to download, so I'm looking for the name. HPV, guys. So the HPV, which is a 3-dose vaccination, And if HPV comes back negative, there's a chance you can get cervical cancer and cancer of any of the reproductive organs with HPV. Because it is also STD that can be sexually transmitted. He gave me HPV, and then I had to wait and take antibiotics. He gave me chlamydia twice, and he gave me herpes. So being with this guy was definitely a roller coaster. Um, some of the women that he gave herpes to called my house phone, and I was so upset. And I told the lady, I cannot do this with you. I am trying to put myself together. I cannot do this with you. You have to go and find somebody for yourself that you can talk to and you can express yourself to. I have shut out all my family. I don't make I don't make relationships with my family. I don't make relationships with people. The only relationships I have, and it is steady, is with this internet and this cameras. That is it. So you're asking for something from me that I can't do, and my religion. That is my only relationships that I have had constantly, and I've never left alone. For me to be on YouTube for 2 years, there was times when I didn't post videos because I didn't feel I was good enough to sit in front of a camera and somebody watch me, because I was so broken down and I felt so bad. Um, I felt like I was herpes. I didn't feel like herpes was a disease. I felt like I was walking around and everybody could see that I had herpes. I felt like it was a sign on my head or all over my body. I felt like I was the walking disease. And I secluded myself from people. I was all by myself. I wasn't able to interact or be around anybody. Anytime I was around anybody, I would be accused of doing something I didn't do. Um, I was told I was less than other people. Um, Family members told older siblings of mine not to come around me because I'm bad influencing them, because they basically saw what was going on in my life, and then instead of stepping in and helping me, and I constantly, I always go back to that. Being told you're bad, you're doing something bad, when you're only faced with a situation that you're human and you can't do anything about it. I never asked for any of these relationships. Anybody with a daughter will tell you that girls go through a lot of sexual abuse. They go through a lot of no good relationships where the guys tell them they love them and they don't love them, and they're sleeping with multiple people. It's not something that you can control. You try your best to use a condom when you're with that person because that person doesn't owe you anything and you're just trying to save your life. I went to the doctor telling the doctor I had AIDS. That was what I walked into the office telling the lady. I had AIDS, and I know I had AIDS, and she asked me why, and I started crying, and I started telling her this guy sleeps with so much people. While I was there, I felt like I should leave the office. I shouldn't stay there and get tested. And once she watched that and observed that for herself is when she really knew that there was something going on. I had some type of disease, and she told me, I'm gonna help you find out what you have. And I started crying, and I told her, because nobody would have helped me. Everybody said I have a family too, and whatever you have, you're gonna have it anyway, so what's the point of me figuring out what it is? um so guys, we 33 minutes in. Stay tuned for part three. There's part three of living with herpes. And stay tuned for my vlog. Subscribe, enjoy, and be blessed. Again, this is Bonnie from Manhattan, New York. Be blessed as the same. Thumbs up this video, share it, like it, leave your video request in the comments box below, and I will read the comments because it's linked to my email, and I will definitely try to shoot those videos for you guys. Again, this is Bonnie from Manhattan, New York. The foundation I am wearing is Maybelline BB Pure. The blush I'm wearing from the LA Girl Cosmetics, as well as the illuminator. I I contoured my face with my Quite Naturally A3 MAC paint pot. I also set that contour with my BH Cosmetics contour and blush palette with the darkest brown color that they have in that palette. I also set my highlight with the white from that palette as well, so that I can have a Kim K highlight. I also highlighted with my Maybelline 210 pressed powder foundation. I also highlighted with my NYC liquid 676 nude foundation underneath the pressed powder and the white powder. You guys see how I do my face. I set my eyebrows with my e.l.f. Mascara and brow gel, and I highlighted underneath my eyebrows with my H&M Smoky eyeshadow palette on my eyes, and I also used the brown color for the transition color from my NYX Dreamcatcher's Smoky Eyeshadow Palette, and I used the brown as a transition color. I used the peach for half the inner tear duct and half of my eyelid, and the other half I used a gray with a brown with some shimmer in it, a light brown with shimmer in it. And I made some dots with my e.l.f. Midnight, which is a dark blue eyeliner, on the base of my eyelid and underneath my brows. You guys see that? I was feeling creative today. I also curled my eyelashes with my NYC eyelash curler, and I used my City Curling 845 NYC mascara. On my lips, I have on Petal, and that's it for my makeup look. I set it with my MAC Translucent Prep and Prime powder and my MAC Fix Plus spray, and this is the finished look. So, ta-da! So I hope you guys enjoy this this living with herpes and living with herpes part 2. You guys can stay tuned on the. If I miss a Saturday, as you guys know, I worked a lot of overtime last Saturday. That was the reason for no vlog, even though that's not a reason, because I usually find a time, if it's even in the middle of the night, to post it for you guys, because you guys have been so inspirational to me. So much has happened this week, and I want to go over it with you guys. I didn't really vlog this week, but I'm going to go over it with you guys. So, again, this is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. You guys are the same. Mwah. Thumbs up this video, share it, like it, leave your video requests in the comment section below. Um, Again, I will be entering the IT Girl contest, and it is coming up. So when I post that video, I will definitely let you guys know that that video is for that. I'll probably do like a get ready with me video, and vote for me. All you have to do is write pound IT Girl contest and vote for me. Thank you guys for supporting me in everything I do. Right now, I feel, like sometimes I just feel like giving up. I just feel like I can't see the end of the road, but then I just feel the spirit of God just come over me and tell me there is an end of the road. And it's not that they fight against me, it's that they fight against him. So just keep going. It's the God that is in me that they fight against, and not me that is in them. So God is definitely doing something amazing in my life. I claim my blessings right now. God, don't forget Ruth. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Mwah.